Hey friends, nice to have you join me today. This is Lola Wrist with LolaWrist.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and we're gonna do some work today and this week my theme is gonna be anything but a card. You know, you get going on cards and die cuts and all these beautiful things, and sometimes we need to do some other different things. We have supplies that need to be used up. We have just some other things that we can do to show the versatility of the Stampin' Up! Products. So that's where we're going today. So give me a moment and we will get this all down. I've got to make sure we're on Facebook Live here. There we are. Nice to have you join me today. This is Lola Wrist with Lola. Sorry, the volume is always going to bump up here. It's going to do it again here in a minute. Let's close this out. Hey, Ann. Nice to have you with us. This is Lola Wrist with Lola. Sorry, the volume is always going to bump up here. Yeah, and I can't get my icons to pull up, so I may have to close this out. Hey, Ann. Nice to have you with us. Hang on there, Ann. Sorry, the volume is always going to bump up here. Yeah, and I can't get my icons to pull up, so it's like my computer's locked up. Hey, Ann. Nice to have you with us. Hang on there, Ann. Sorry, the volume is always going to bump up here. Yeah, and I can't get my icons to pull up, so it's like my computer's locked up. Hang on there, Ann. Okay, I turned the volume off on my computer. Hi, Doris. Hi, Ann. Can you hear me, girls? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I tried to get rid of the volume on my computer, so you should be fine because it should be coming in over my phone. Anybody give me a thumbs up or a message that you are able to hear me before we go any farther. Still waiting. Ann, can you hear me? You can hear me. Good. That's all I needed. All right. We're going to get going here. All right, we're going to turn this around. And I don't know if you saw my picture this morning on my my blog or on my Facebook account, but I had a whole bunch of scraps. I have so many scraps, and people, you don't realize when you are doing classes, the paper leftovers that you have is just unreal. And so you've got to come up with something to do with those scraps. You could pitch them and just ignore it, but you know, that's too good. The paper's too good. It's too pretty. You could do things like, hey, Tina, nice to have you with us. You could do things like donate them to schools. And my girls in their elementary school, their art teacher gets about twice a year, she gets 2 boxes loaded of DSP, and she's ecstatic with it. The kids love it. Hey, Patricia, they love it. And even Nana Lola loves it, because when Nana Lola goes to their school art fair in the spring at the end of the year, and they have all of their products that they like on display, and we're talking major dice displays, about 5 foot tall panels. Each of them have a panel of about 5 foot tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. And they put a picture of the artist and their name, and they talk about them and what their favorite things are about their artwork and what they like to play with and create with. And then they get to display about 5 or 6 of their favorite artworks from the school year. Now, can you imagine? This is for every child. Now, they don't have a large school. There's probably 150 kids, 160 kids. They're not talking 300 and 400 or 500 in St. Louis. This is a small district. So, but she displays them, and they take that DSP from Stampin' Up, and they use it all year long. And then I can go along and I can just sit there and pick out, oh, I recognize that pattern. Oh yeah, look how they use this one. I love it. So if you've never thought about taking your retired products, take it to school. The teachers will love you, and the kids will love it. But sometimes you have so much big pieces. It's like, man, this is still good stuff right now. I need to do something with it. So believe it or not, we're going to do a wood piece today. We are going to do a little door hanging. And this will either work or it won't. I know I have a couple of people here new that have not been with us before. So you need to know that I craft on the fly. It's in my head. I have an idea what I want. It may work and it may not. Okay? But this whole week is going to be anything but a card. Things that we can use our supplies for something fun. You could do it for a Girl Scout projects. Girl Scouts, this would be their thing. You could do it for nursing homes. You can do it with Bible school or Sunday school kids. You can do all sorts of things. This would be a great one that the kids could do for the shut-ins in our church. They made pumpkins this past year, this past weekend. They colored pumpkins. Why can't they paper mache kind of a pumpkin? So I know it's not a card, but I want to show you how easy it is to do this. And you can do it. You did this at your weekend retreat? No way. Ha! Well, good deal. You may learn the same techniques as me, and it may be something different. So just wait and see. I bought these at Amazon. They have already the holes. They're laser cut. They're very thin. They have the little holes that you can hang them from. And it's an easy way to add that. I took the whole thing, and let's just lay these all out. So I took a bunch of my scraps, and hopefully I have a sufficient amount. I can't believe I don't have. Of the Gathering Together DSP. And I know you probably can't tell it, but if you were here looking at it, you would see that I have, and you might be able to see it if I hold it up, that I have embossed it because I wanted some texture on this stuff. Hey, Kathy, you use the pumpkin DSP, okay? All right, so we've got a few more pieces here. I'm laying them all out, and I just went through and I used all of my, now you can see it. I used several of my pieces to emboss, and I'm not gonna worry if my leaves are embossed all the same direction or not. So I'm gonna kind of move these all off to the side. Now that I took the time to lay them out, now I'm gonna take the time to move them off. So, hey, Arla, I hope you're doing okay. Girls, Arla has, is it a broken wrist, Arla? She had a little accident, and she is wrapped up in a cast. So, Arla, I hope that your recovery is going well. Sometimes they don't recover as fast as we want them to, but hopefully it's going well. All right, so I've kind of got all these things off to the side. I've got a mess. And all I did was take my strips. I cut them into 8 1/4 inch by 4 5. In fact, I didn't even cut the width. It was what was left over from the samplers. Many of them I had to cut down 3 and 4 inches off of my 12 by 12 paper. So whatever the width is, and I went 8 1/4, and I laid it in that embossing folder with the leaves, and I embossed it. And then I turned around and I took a paper cutter and cut them in 1 inch strips. So, All right, so we're gonna start with this, and you want to lay a good amount of glue down. I say this, but now remember, I haven't done it yet, so who knows what'll come out. Jonna gave me a brush that is actually like a basting brush, a silicone brush, and she uses it for adhesive, and we cut off the ends so it's not quite so flimsy, and I'm going to use that to spread my glue. I want my glue to go all the way to the end. I'm going to go on ahead and put more glue on it because I don't feel like that's sufficient. But I'm going to work small sections at a time. So how about that game last night, Lynn? The last time we played was a year after. It was an opening game of the season after the Chiefs had won the Super Bowl and you guys beat us and trounced us. So it was kind of nice to see us have a chance back. Okay, so I took these 1-inch strips and I'm just going to lay one along the edge. I'm not worried about what's left, and I'm going to go on ahead and just keep building, okay? So I think I'm going to turn this one, and I'm going to just add some strips on the side. I did cut them with my paper cutter because I wanted them to be good and straight. Okay, so, and I've been doing this, and then I got a little pulled up, so I'm going to pull back. And I'm just going to build on it. That's awful, Arla. I'm so sorry about that. I hope, though, that it goes rather well for you as you recover. I'm into audiobooks, so if you have an e-reader, now's a great time to be picking up some audiobooks to just sit and read. Okay? All right. And we're going to go on ahead and go all the way to the top. And oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. Okay. And I'm going to come back down here. And I want to make sure that I have plenty of glue here. I want this little section to make sure there's glue because I don't want the edges to pop up. Okay. And I'm going to cut this for now just because I don't like all that showing off to the side yet. But I am going to come back and do better at cutting it. But I wanted to get rid of that excess. And at the same time, I have to put this back down. Okay. All right, so now let's go another direction. Let's take it and let's go. Let's squeeze out some glue. Some more. Yep. I have an app on my phone too. You can get a free app. And I get free books. I like my free books. I'm apt to have an audiobook going in my ears, and I'm apt to have a different book, not the same book, a different one going on in my e-reader tablet, and I'm apt to even have a real one in hand, paper, hardback copy. I'm one of those that read 2 or 3 books at a time. Okay, I'm going to the end. Now, for those of you that are late coming in, This week is going to be anything but a card. Ideas that you can do. This would work. The girls, I have these pumpkins. When they come, they will love this. They can make these pumpkins for their teachers. They will love it. Okay? All right. So I'm going to take this and let's get a long strip. Ooh, no, they're not very long. This one's going to end up in the middle. And that's not going to work because there's no glue under that. So did you, Lynn, when you and Maria went to your retreat, did you do paper on your pumpkins like this in strips? There's no rhyme or reason to this whatsoever. And I have this tiny, tiny, tiny little dot down here. And I've got to get something on that. So let's come back and get that in here. Okay, we've got more strips over here. You just keep adding strips. What have we not used much of? And here goes one. Okay. And again, I'm going to take it, and this little one is going to give me grief. And I may find myself painting it. That one little section. You use hodgepodge. I have hodgepodge right now because I'm going to do some wooden letters for Fiona. So I'm just going to come along here. We're not done with the edges, but right now this is all I need to worry about. Just get rid of this excess. Okay. I did put something down to protect. So I'm going to go on ahead and just kind of press on and make sure all of this is on here good and tight. Okay. Let's go from there. We need something here. And I think we're going to go over that. Okay. Don't worry, this is coming off down here. And that way I was able to fix that little spot, that corner, but I need a little more glue. Maybe you don't want to do this with kids. Can you imagine all the glue they might have? There's nothing better than sticky fingers. Okay, so now let's go up and do the rest of it. And I'm not worried about the holes. I'm going to cover over the holes. I think you can buy these at Dollar Tree, Dollar General. You can buy these wooden pieces. I could see this is the kind of thing that kids would like to make for people at the nursing home. They would think this was fun. Actually, the nursing home people would like this. They like crafts. Okay, do that. And we're gonna go straight across this one. So I'm gonna put glue down over it. And I'm just gonna keep building and filling in. I am not worried about what direction my leaves are going. I just wanted the texture, nothing else. I'm not worried about creating a unique and everything uniformed with the falling leaves. And I'm just gonna keep building like this. Again, with the silicone, if you didn't hear me, this was like a silicone, I think like a cooking brush is what makes me think of. I have a basting brush like this in my kitchen that's silicone, but it had like 1.5 inch bristles. And Jonna brought me one and shared it with me. And we used that we cut it down. You just cut it down to about 1/4 inch or a little longer of strips. And she just uses that to spread the glue, and it's perfect. Okay, this is gonna go over that. I don't like that one. We're gonna move it. I'll come back to it in a minute. I think we're gonna use one of the leaf ones here. Here we go. Make sure you've got all your ends down. Make sure that the edges are good. Okay. Now, I'm kind of working towards this topper, and this could be my make or break moment because I'm not sure how I'm going to do the stem. I'm not sure. So if you're not sure, you just make it the last thing. Put some glue over this and make sure that there's glue there. Okay. Now I can use, and let's use one of these. I love these strips. That little bit of, I think it looked at first like gold, but it's actually champagne is what they say in the back of that paper. Okay, and I'm gonna keep building. All right, I need something maybe here. And we need another floral piece here. And another maybe piece here. And I want to make sure that's good and covered for what I plan to do. So I'm gonna go on ahead and use a piece of brown by itself. Here's one I had started on. Nope, that's backside. Okay. And I wanna make sure that that is brown, covered there, okay? All right, everything is pressed down good. There's a little bit of glue in places, but not bad at all. Okay, so let's go on ahead Take a moment and let's cover this up. I don't have my mat out here because I wanted that thing protected. Let's push this all off to the side. And then take my scissors and I'm gonna trim. And now that I have had this going for a little while, I'm gonna go on ahead. It should be on there and dried enough that I can do this and not knock it off, knock it loose, okay? So I'm coming along and I'm going closer to the edge. It's still not perfect yet, but it's closer. Same thing here. I'm gonna go in and make sure that I can come along here and just keep going. All of this excess, but we're still not done because that excess still could catch somewhere along the way. All right, we're gonna do this. And then we have to attack the dreaded stem. All right, I'm gonna go on here and get rid of the excess on the outside. I wanted to do this a year ago. We had a real pretty black and white paper, and I was going to use it, might have been a couple of years ago. And I thought, oh, that would make a really fun pumpkin, black and white. And I was going to spray paint it black and then leave spaces in between. But, you know, it was in my head. I didn't get it done. I had good intentions. Good intentions doesn't always count, but, you know, I did. I had good intentions. Okay, I'm going to come along here. Okay. So are any of you going to be in backstage? For those of you that are Stampin' Up! Demos, any of you going to backstage in, where are we going? Vegas, I guess. Vegas. So there's the pumpkin started. But now let's see if we can attach and see if we can deal with this stem that I'm dreading. So I kind of wanted my stem to be green. So you have noticed I haven't used, other than just a little piece or two that had green in it, I don't have any green on here. And I cut it in 1-inch strips too, but I think I want to tear the end of it. I think I want to tear to build my stem, so my stem is not maybe so uniform. So I'm gonna go on ahead and just kind of lay it in here for now. There's the start of my stem. And again, I just took the 1-inch pieces and we just kind of all right. I'm playing. Again, remember, Lola crafts on the fly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's what I do. You're not gonna go, Lynn? We are going. I'm flying out with the girls from St. Louis. And then I'm going from there on to St. George to Rhonda Wade's retreat in St. George. So it should be fun. All right. So there, I'm kind of got my stem started. I'm not worrying about the brown other than I wanted to make sure my stem was completely covered. So I'm going to go around like that. And as I slide that in, it's gonna take the glue with it. Gotta get under there. A little glue in there. And this will be easy because I'm just gonna go on ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna go up here and lay a piece over it so that it's good and sticky there. And we may have to come down there and address something. So we're getting ready. I will not be here next week. Next week we will be in Maine, and Lola will be on a search for her lobster roll. We fly out Monday morning after the Chiefs game on Sunday, and then we come back in on Friday because we have a grandson's birthday party on Saturday for his One-toberfest. He's One-toberfest. All right. I'm not sure I like that one splotch, so let's see if we can figure something out here. There's a piece of green. No, let's do this. So this one we're just going to cut by hand, and it's not going to be... Yep, it's in St. George, Utah. She does one in Utah. She has done St. George several times, and I've been to the ones that she does in Utah or in Wisconsin, Michigan. Okay, that's going to get it. I'm just going to put some glue on this, I think. And then we're going to tack the edges. We come to, when we go up to Michigan to her retreats, it's in Okemos. I will. Rosemary follows me. She and Moneyman follow me and Jim as we travel, or Pam, and she watches us on the app. And so usually when I touch down and turn my phone back on, I get a message from her that says, "You've landed." Which it is fun to watch people when they're coming across, especially, you know, for kids. I know when Megan and them come back from Italy in March with the girls, I'll be watching to see where they're all at. I'll need that app then. Oh, I know. I'm excited to be up there in that area. All right, so now we've kind of got our little pumpkin done. I know it's kind of silly looking, but it's going to get there. So I need to get rid of this raw edge because there's lots of these little things. This is where the sanding block comes in. So I'm going to take this, and you know this is just paper. Paper just needs to be sanded off. So I'm going to take my sanding block and I'm going to sand the edge. And what I'm doing is I'm going perpendicular to the wood, okay? And coming down. And then getting rid of the excess paper. Be careful, if you go too fast or go back and forth too far, you might actually tear your paper that you don't want torn, okay? I'm just gonna keep going here. And I'm gonna go all the way around. I like to do this with ornaments. I will probably sometime, it probably won't happen this week because I've already got my projects planned. Might be though, might be something I can pull out. And I like to make round ornaments on round discs. Okay, there's a little spotch there. The sanding block I got from Dollar Tree. There again. So we're gonna get rid of some of this stuff because I'm kind of like can't breathe with all this crud around. Give me a minute. I know I'm losing you. I tipped the camera. I'm trying to get rid of all this stuff. Hang in there. The camera's coming back. I gotta find my lid to the glue. All right, now, phew, I was just like, too much sticky stuff. All right, I don't know where I was at. I was here. So I'm working around. I like Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is a fun little place that you can go and you can find the darndest things. When the girls were real little, they liked all the little craft stuff in there that you could get, and they'd come home and they'd just sit and play and play and play. I know one friend that she would take her grandson in and give him $5 and they could pick 5 things. Of course, you know, that's hard to do now. Inflation, now it's $1.25 instead of Dollar Tree, but anyhow. Work yourself around the stem. This one here, I may have to take a nail file to it, and I don't have a nail file with me. Let's see if I can get that cut off now. Before I can post this, I will have to use a nail file to it. I thought a maple leaf would have been pretty, but I never did find a maple leaf. Cut out. A good hard nail file will also work it, but I like this one because you have 4 surfaces. And all you're doing is just going around and getting rid of all the edges. So are the leaves already turning up there, Anne? Have you got all the leaves turning, or are they just starting to turn? Last year, when we did our cruise in the New England area, they were just starting to turn because we had to be back in time to be on call for baby boy delivery so that we could take Calvin while his mom and daddy went to the hospital. You know what? I was really worried about that too. And that little tyke did such a wonderful job. He was so good. He was so good. And there it is. And then you can decorate it however you want. So I got rid of I got rid of scraps. I still used all my Stampin' Up! Products because I used my Tombow, I used my paper, I used an embossing folder. And you can embellish as you want. I like this little ribbon that goes with it. I like the ribbon that is part of the suite. And I am going to stick that on there. Leaves here are done. No, drought and rain last week. Oh, no. Oh, I hope that we get to see the leaves. You know, that's why we're going back. So I probably should have put this on with a hot glue gun, but, you know, I don't have a hot glue with me. So use what you got. When you're crafting on the fly, you make do. This ribbon, by the way, I love this ribbon. This ribbon is part of the suite. and you think it is going to be real hard to work with, it is not. It is so soft and supple to watch, play with. I love this ribbon. It is unreal, and I'm going to have done a heck of a number on my manicure. Okay, so there's the first of Lola's doing anything but a card. How's that? Isn't that different? Oh, thanks, Doris. I'm glad you loved it. I still have a few more things to do to it, and I hope to post it tomorrow. But anyhow, take out your crafts. Don't feel that you have to make cards only, and that's all you can do, or scrapbook only, and that's all you can do. You can use your stuff and your supplies to turn around and make your own thing. It would have probably, if I'd have really been thinking about it, I maybe would have come over here, and then I could have started going up, and then I would have had this little argyle pattern happening over here. You want to hang it? Not a problem. You go to the back. You figure out where your holes are. You poke a little, just a little bit like this, in there so you can feel it in the front. And then take some type of a screwdriver, a thin screwdriver, one that's smaller than the circle. Take it from the front to the back, because you want all of the edges that you're tearing as you go through, you want it to be inside of the hole, not on the top surface. So you want to know where the circle is, and I would do this, but I'm not sure I'm going to hang it, so I don't want to poke a hole. But I would figure out where my hole is, where it is. I poked a little hole. It's right there. And you could poke it, but you want to poke from the front surface to the back, because you want all the raw edge to go into the circle of the wooden die piece, the wooden piece. You don't want all of the raw edges to be on the top surface. Does that make sense? So anyhow, all right, so this week, anything but a card. Hey, don't forget to, mystery boxes start Wednesday of this week. Tomorrow is the last day for a customer appreciation, getting a free adhesive up for any orders up to $50. Christmas card class is tomorrow, so then the Christmas card kits will be mailing out. I'll probably have to package them on Wednesday and Thursday, but they probably won't go out in the mail till Friday. Speed bingo happens on Thursday night, and then those will be packaged and they will go out on Saturday morning, and then we fly out. So I want to try to get all of that stuff done prior to it. But anyhow, all right, take care. God bless. We'll see you on Wednesday. Chris Howe will be here for anything but a card. She'll be using pottery and her Stampin' Up supplies. You guys, you got to see this. And then, like I said, Speed Bingo is on Thursday night right here for those that have signed up. All right, take care. God bless. Bye-bye, friends.